We got a special guest hopping on.
We got a special
What's
guest.
this about?
It's not just anybody. This is a two-time Stanley Cup champion, folks. This is a legendary man in the city of Pittsburgh. This is a man who said we're going to take this thing down to the river and we're going to party all summer with the Stanley Cup, and he lives in infamy because of it. The old 2-9er, ladies and gentlemen, Phil Bourque is here. Bourque, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Wine them, dine them, 2-9 them. I'm here for you, man. Whatever you need.
Oh, what a beauty! What an absolute beauty! You know what? Hey, Bourque, I was texting with you earlier today, and thank you for hopping on here because there's big news in Pittsburgh, not great news. What do we got on Jake Guentzel? We're hearing he's out week to week. What does that mean for this team?
Well, it means a lot, Rupper. I mean, this is a guy that's a house on fire, and to be quite frank with you, in the past, a lot of players depended on Sidney Crosby to get their motor running, and I think it's kind of been the other way. I think that Sid's kind of depended on Jake to get his motor running, and Sid's been playing really. It's game by game by game. He's getting a little bit better, and I give a lot of credit to Jake Guentzel. So it's significant. It really is, Rupper. To lose a guy like this, not only is a house on fire as far as the point streak, the road point streak, all of that. That's significant. That's not just when you get in double digits on both those categories, those are significant numbers. But also, we've got a bunch of guys, Rupper, that have gone a little bit chilly, a little bit cold offensively. I'm talking about Kasperi Kapanen. I'm talking about Jason Zucker. There's a bunch of guys that are not putting the biscuit in the net, but Jake Guentzel is. So he's been covering up for a lot of those guys. And so if he's out for a while, and you said week to week, I'm a little bit worried on who's the next guy up and who's the next guy that's going to put the puck in the net for the Penguins.
Who do you think? What do you think Sully does here? Does he go? We're hearing what Kasperi Kapanen, I think, practiced on the. When I think Rodriguez is moving to the left side and Kapanen on the right side. Is that what it's looking like? Like how you think that's going to work?
Yeah, it's kind of been a blessing is Evan Rodriguez. That he's a guy that not a lot of people thought that he could put up the numbers that he's putting up, but he's been a pleasant surprise. But, I hope it's Kasperi Kapanen. I hope Kapanen gets a good look here with Sid. And this might be one of those moments, those kind of crossroads moment for his career, really. He's super talented. The skating's there, the shot is there, the stick handling's there. You have to figure his dad played so long in the league, the hockey sense is there. But I'll be honest with you. I've been more disappointed in a guy that had a great training camp. It was in unbelievable shape that really wanted to put a mark on this season. He's been a bit of a dud this year, and a lot of it's because he's on the perimeter too much. So if Kapanen gets a look up with Sid, I think it's more of Sully force feeding him. But sometimes that's what it takes to get a guy going.
Yeah, I guess one concern I have, and I don't know if anybody comes to mind for you, but when I saw that Kapanen practice in that spot, I started thinking to myself, like, I don't know if I've ever seen Sid play with two right-hand shots. I don't know if I've ever seen that. Like he's played with two left-hand shots. I mean, we remember the Dupuis, Kunitz, Crosby line was really good. Yeah. I know he played with Billy Guerin as a right shot, but there was Chris Kunitz on the other side. I mean, there's always and listen, if there's a guy that can handle it, it's fucking Crosby, right? Like he's Superman, right? But at the same time, like that might take a little bit of time here. And I don't know. I find that with Sid and from playing at times, if it's a shift, if it's for a game with a guy like that, I found that watching other players thinking too much with him, like don't try to think the way he thinks. He's Sidney Crosby. You're not. You know what I mean? Like let him be the artist. You be predictable for him. Like go be, play with conviction, go to the right spots, straight lines. I mean, I think Sid thrives on straight line players. So if Kasperi Kapanen is willing to do that, look out. He's going to put the puck in that. If he's going to try to get to, what's Sid thinking here? I'm going to cut behind him, or do I do that? No, that doesn't seem to work with him.
You just had me thinking as we were talking, Rupper. When I think back of the guys have had success with Sid, and there's not as many as you think. Marion Hossa had success with Sid, but Hossa is more the exception, to be quite honest with you. I go back to Colby Armstrong, and I know Colby was a first-round pick, but Colby was a meat and potatoes guy. He was a mucker, he was a grinder, he was one of us, Robert. And also Andy Hilbert, who was a bit of a slug too, but I mean that in a complimentary way. And you mentioned Pascal Dupuis, and you think of Chris Kunitz, a couple of undrafted guys, but it was plug and play. They just fit because number one, they weren't intimidated playing with Sid, and also they played their game and they understood what makes it work. Listen, do you have to get the puck to Sid? Yeah, but you also need to, at times, I heard that Sid has told those guys, don't come to me. Go away from me. Draw the attention away from me just to allow me to have some space and some time, and I'll create on my own. Just get open and go to the net and be ready. Expect the unexpected, right? And that sounds simple, but it's not that easy when you play with Sidney Crosby. So, and Evan Rodriguez has kind of turned into a bit of a Pascal Dupuis where he plays his own game, right? He doesn't try to force the puck to Sid. He's not intimidated by Sid. And I think that's because when he played at Boston University, he played with Jack Eichel. And they were 1-2 in the nation in scoring. And that tells you a little bit about Evan Rodriguez. He's got a little bit of swagger. He's got a little bit of chip on his shoulder that's saying, I'm going to play my game. I get your Sid. I'm going to get you the puck, Sid. But also, when I have a chance to pull the trigger, I'm going to put the puck on the net. And I don't know if Capney's going to be that guy or not, if Capney goes up there, because Capney might be a little bit intimidated playing with Sid.
To that point, Bourque, I got to ask, like, you were a guy, you got the chance to play with Jagr and Lemieux and some of the all-time greats, Ronnie Francis. Did you feel that way at all when you got some ice time with those guys, or was it like, hey, let's just get these guys the puck and get the hell out of the way?
Not so much Jagr because I didn't really play a ton with Jagr. I did play on the line in '92 with this is unbelievable. I kind of giggle. Listen to me. I'm giggling talking about it. I had Brian Trottier as my center and Jaromir Jagr as my right wing.
Jesus.
What doesn't belong, right? What piece doesn't belong? I got a quick story for you. My first time I ever played with Mario, I just got called up from Baltimore. And I remember sitting on the bench, and I forget who the coach was. It doesn't matter. It might have been Pierre Kramer, whoever. And he said, okay, Lemieux, Bourque, you're up next. And Mario was sitting next to me, and we were sitting on the bench. And I think he could just sense my anxiety at the moment. And I remember him kind of leaning over to me, and he said, hey, Bourque, just go to the net and lean on your stick. The next shift, he came flying down the right wing. He pulled a button hook inside the blue line. I'm driving to the net. I got a defenseman on my shoulder. I'm leaning on my stick as hard as I can. Next thing I know, I see the puck bank off my stick, and I got to empty that tap-in goal. That's just what 66 could do. But there's just been too many guys that have come down the turnpike that are intimidated playing with it. At some point, you have to say, wow, if I'm intimidated playing by this guy, I'm probably not going to be here that long. So you got to play your game. You have to have confidence in your game and what works for you. But also you have to understand, get those guys the puck, but don't force it to them.
I love how this team's handled all the injuries this year. I think they've done a fantastic job with it. But how perfect is it that the Islanders in Philly are just floundering? And not just because it's a rivalry, but also like if those two teams were playing to probably their potential, this could be a really tough year for the Pens, right?
That's a great point, Rupper. You're right. What the Rangers are doing, are they going to fall off a little bit? Who knows? I think Carolina's for real. Washington, I think, has been a big surprise considering the injuries that they've had. I don't think anybody's really sold on their goaltending, but they're getting the job done. So I don't see them going away. But you make a great point because really the thorn in the side of the Pittsburgh Penguins for years now has been those New York Islanders because the style that they played. But I think that style is kind of worn on them as well as the guys that they have lost. So that is a bit of a blessing for the Penguins. Bring on the Flyers all day and twice on Sunday. I don't have to tell you that, Rupper. If you bleed black and gold, then when you see the black and orange, it makes your blood boil. So, if they lose 15 in a row, I'm stripping down naked and I'm doing a dance down Grand Street, okay? That's how much I hate the Flyers because they used to pound the living crap out of us. When the score was 9-0, they were chanting, "We want 10, we want 10," and Bobby Clark was blowing snot bubbles out of his nose to try to get him the 10th goal. So, when turnaround is fair play, if the Penguins can ever feed the Philadelphia Flyers when they're down and out, then I'm dancing a jig.
Oh, that's amazing, man. You're the best, Borky. You guys got anything else for him?
Yeah, Borky, I got two things here. I read on your Wikipedia, and I don't know if you can confirm
Don't
either
believe
of these
everything you
stories.
hear on Wikipedia, but go ahead.
I have to in this case because there were two legendary tales. One was about you personally engraving your own name inside of the Stanley Cup. Is that true?
That's true. I was the first guy. Some other guys tried to follow up. I heard JJ Dagneau did in '93. But, you know, copycats, you know what they say about them. But I was the first guy to have my name on the outside and the inside. What else
That's incredible. The other one was I was reading about you played for the Ottawa Senators, and we just had Rick Bowness on recently. He was the coach there, obviously. But then I read that you had a fall and it damn near fell 40 feet down this cliff somewhere in Arizona, I think it was. What's that about? Are you?
Yeah, I hope I
How
don't
did
lose
you
you guys
drive? What
because
the
I'm
hell?
running out of juice on my phone here. I'm at a dinner place just outside Pittsburgh. So if I lose you, I apologize. So I'll say that beforehand. But yeah, I was free climbing, rock climbing at Lake Powell, which is right on the Arizona-Utah border, and I lost my footing. And 40 feet, you can do the math. That's 4 stories. I fell straight down, but on my way, I knocked my head on the back of a rock. So I fractured my skull 3 inches. But the problem was, guys, it propelled me to do a face plant. So when I fell 4 stories, I landed, and I was knocked out cold from hitting my head. I landed face first. I broke my forehead like a potato chip. Both my cheekbones, my nose was splattered all over my face, and I broke my neck in 5 places. So the doctor came in the next day. He said, "I'll tell you what, son. I look at your MRI and your X-rays. I should be fitting you for a wheelchair. You should be paralyzed. But because you were in the best shape of your life, this happened in August of '94, right before training camp with the Senators. I was in the best shape of my life because I knew my career was on the teeter-totter. And because of that I was able to recover from that fall, persevere, get back. And that, you know, Rupper, that was the year of the lockout, '94, '95. We started in January. I got myself back in the gym, started working out, and I was able to play not only that year, but play another 6 years. I retired in 2000 after playing 3 years in Germany. So I'll be honest with you, just to cut to the chase, there was absolutely somebody looking over me that day because I should have died or been paralyzed with the impact of that fall.
Let's go, Borky.
Dude.
Congrats, man. That's legendary.
Yeah, dude. What a story that is. And you know what, dude? If all I know from getting to know you, Borky, it's gonna take more than the goddamn 40-foot fall. The old 2-9er. The old 2-9er. We appreciate you, buddy. We love you. Thanks for hopping on and jumping out of dinner there for a few minutes.
Anytime, guys. Love you guys too. And thanks for having me on. This was good hockey talk.
Thanks, brother. What an animal.
I love it.
What a
I love it.
fucking
I love his
legend,
sign off all
dude.
the time. It's the best.